for princess of power. The fate of the world in the hands of one beautiful girl, princess of power.
Here is the lineup of 2014's Club Etheria for the Masters of the Universe Classics line. You have Light Hope, who was the exclusive for the subscription. Sweet Bee, who is being depicted with her helmet, her space helmet. She also came with her standard head. Spinnerella, Double Mischief, Flutterina, Madame Raz and Broom, who were released as one toy, and New Adventures She-Ra, who was created as a new figure. She-Ra never had a New Adventures toy, but for Club Etheria, Mattel wanted to create a new She-Ra toy along with Light Hope here, and it seemed a logical choice to go with New Adventures She-Ra. Masters of the Universe Classics 2014 Club Etheria mini sub was the third mini sub to occur in the Masters of the Universe Classics toy line. Each year since 2009, Mattel released new action figures in the Masters of the Universe Classics toy line on a monthly basis. You had to subscribe, and each month you receive a figure from the toy line throughout the year. So it was an annual sub. So every month from the month of January to December, you get a figure. In many of those years, you also got quarterly figures or toys. So there were opportunities to get multi-packs, like Stone Dart and Rock On came as a quarterly 2-pack, or an oversized figure would come on a quarterly basis. So in a typical year, you could get more than 12 toys. You could get up to 16 to 20 toys in one given year. That ended up not being enough, particularly for Princess of Power, because it averaged about 1 to 2 Princess of Power characters a year in the sub. And at the rate things were going, we weren't going to get all of the Princess of Power characters from the vintage Princess of Power toy line. We were getting plenty of Horde. We were getting Hordak and Bleach, Mantenna, Grizzlor. We did get those characters in the annual sub, but we weren't getting a lot of the She-Ra Princess of Power characters from the vintage toy line and from the Filmation show. So a lot of fans were crying out, saying, hey, what's going on here? You're only releasing 1 to 2 Princess of Power characters a year. And Mattel shot back, oh, well, yeah, we are. We're sending out Hordak and Leech and Mantenna. They're Princess of Power too, but they weren't doing the female characters. And I can get into the theories that I have on that. You can argue that there were issues with the female Buck. Fans and collectors were very critical of the female Buck and how it was being executed, so that could potentially have slowed up the release of more female characters in the line if the Buck itself wasn't satisfactory to consumers. There was also the issue for some time of the rights to Filmation. Most fans would prefer, or presumably prefer, the Filmation designs of the female Princess of Power characters, so that held things up. And of course, there is the idea that this line is collected by mostly 30 to 40-year-old men, and many of them just weren't interested in having that many female characters in the line. The verdict is out on what that's all about. Feel free to chime in the comments section down below if you have any of your own ideas of why it took so long to get more Princess of Power characters into the toy line. But Club Etheria, released in 2014, was one of the points in the toy line where we got a major influx of Princess of Power characters. The first mini-sub was released in 2012, and that was the 30th anniversary, and it went so well. It was a 30th anniversary mini-sub that featured the Create a Character contest. That went so well that they did another mini-sub in 2013, and they did Club Etheria in 2014. And after Club Etheria, they did Club 2000X in 2015. So Club Etheria was a great opportunity to inject a lot of Princess of Power characters into the line, and it gave us a nice leap forward in making sure we got our Princess of Power lineup completed. That was a target for the Masters of the Universe Classics toy line, getting all of the major or main Masters of the Universe characters out, as well as the Princess of Power characters out. And for all points and purposes, Masters of the Universe Classics succeeded at that before its initial close in 2015 under Mattel's rule. It is now being run by Super 7, who is releasing more Princess of Power characters. So thankfully, we got Club Etheria in 2014. We got a brand new Light Hope figure. He was never in this humanoid form before, but the Four Horsemen did an awesome job of incorporating design concepts from both the cartoon and toy crystal castles into this humanoid figure. Flutterina takes on the visage of her Filmation design, but does also incorporate some designs from her toy. The same is true with the rest of the figures, and this is the first time we get a figure of Madame Razz and Broom, who is essentially jumping right out of the Filmation cartoon. So there is the lineup of Club Etheria. It is the third mini-sub in the Masters of the Universe Classics. It did very well. Of course, it would have never happened if enough subscribers didn't buy into it. And it continued the tradition and allowed for the tradition of Club 2000X, which came in 2015, which is the last year of the Mattel Masters of the Universe Classics run. So there is the mini-sub for Club Etheria 2014.